Right, so Shonda Campbell has been doing amazing artwork since high school. After figuring out what to do with her life, she finally decided to pursue her natural talent and she created, you pronounce it for me, Shonda, Rook's art?
Rue.
Rue is
I
la,
mean,
est la Franche. Okay,
yeah.
so the hex is not even pronounced. Sorry about that. So it's Rue art. What does that mean? What does Rue mean?
I used to have red hair, so it was a nickname coined from having red hair.
I see. So let's start at the beginning. You were in high school. You were a lover of art, no?
Yes, I was all about art in high school.
I used to draw all the time, and then as time progressed, and you entered university, you had folks telling you this is not going to work. This is not a career. Tell me about the pressure that you felt to take up a traditional career.
It was actually from before in high school when we had to be choosing for a subject. So I was encouraged not to do art-based subjects, more so doing sciences because I was always good at sciences and languages and stuff like that. So those were the things that I did in CXC and up to Cape as well.
Okay.
So going into university, I was also still in the sciences, and it was at that point that I decided to do art. So I got into certain groups of persons, getting to network with certain people and learning different things that are quite different from what I was learning coming up in high school.
So in high school, when they told you, boy, no matter choose art, you stopped drawing?
Yeah, I actually wasn't drawing much in high school, like doing during sixties and stuff like that. I wasn't really drawing much. It was something that I let go from quite a young age, probably from grade 7, grade 8. So yeah, I was more focused on studies than anything creative.
Wow. So when you got into UA, wow, that is striking. That image is striking. When you got into UA, right, you said you were doing the sciences. What was the goal at that point? What profession were you looking to step into?
I wasn't really sure, and that was one of the biggest problems because I knew that I was, good with sciences, and there are a vast amount of jobs you can do with the sciences. So at that time, I was doing biotechnology. I could have been a biotechnologist or a lab technician or somebody working in the food industry or something like that. But it just, as time progressed, it just didn't feel like the right path for me.
Did you fall into depression? Is that true?
Repeat?
Did you get depressed about it? Did you fall into depression?
Yes, I was very depressed about it. Extremely depressed. It got really difficult for me to go to school, get out of bed. Simple tasks that would normally be simple for me to do growing up, it started to become extremely difficult.
So tell me what the turning point was to answering your calling.
The turning point was pretty much getting myself educated on how to make a living professionally from art, as well as how I can help other people. So a part of what drives me is helping other people, pushing other people. So I also came up with me and my friends. We did a platform, it was a creative art show that we did 3 years running up until before COVID. So those were the things, being around certain people were what drove me into that certain direction.
Yeah. So now you're there. We've seen some of your pieces on screen. I've seen body art. Tell me about your canvas of choice, your medium of choice, and what is your style of art?
All right, with body art, it's one of my favorite mediums because it allows the canvas, or as I like to call it person, the canvas in this scenario. It allows them to express my art in a way that's different from painting it on a normal canvas. So I am seeing my art come to life on a person. So it's one of my favorite mediums or ways to express myself because I can see how somebody else would express my work.
Sure. And what are the others? So body art is one way. Do you have any other mediums that you work with?
I am a graphic designer, so I can do illustrations. I'm good with Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, a lot of those things. So anything digital, I also have trained myself in doing this kind of stuff.
Okay. So now that you are living it, what the naysayers said, there's no future here, there's no career here. Obviously, you've proven that's not the case.
Yeah, and I think it's so vast as well. There are so many different things and different avenues, different ways of expression that you can tap into, and it really feeds your soul in a sense. Whether it is that you're helping someone else, or whether it is you're just expressing how you feel. Or one of my favorite things is like when a client needs a painting and I do it and they're absolutely in love with it. So yeah, that's definitely a big part of it.
Okay, so you also paint. So you custom design, as you just said a while ago. Did you when you realized the sciences was not it for you, Shondell, did you go and get any training in art, or is this all just your natural talent?
It's actually all very natural and a little bit of YouTube.
Wow.
A little bit of mentorship as well. I've met other artists that I look up to, so I take tips and pointers from them. But basically, it is natural. A lot of the digital stuff I taught myself. I got the necessary tools, and I just practiced. It's mostly practice.
Okay, we have to go, but I want you to give a word to young people. There's so many young people who are so good at art and can have a really viable career in art, but they're also being told this is not feasible for you to live off of. What would you say to them this morning? And to parents too, Shondell, of children who have the skill and are not encouraging it.
It is a skill that, just like how you would have a business running any normal business, if you're retailing with clothes or if you have your own product, art should be treated like a product, although it is in essence an extension of the artist, but it should be treated as a business. And that's how you cultivate and you reap the benefits from doing something like that.
Fantastic.
So you get to a point where you think about you versus what a client would want, and all that gets quite difficult to understand. But the basis of it is treating it like a business, and then you would move forward from there.
Okay, speaking of treating it like a business, if people want to patronize your business, where do we find you?
I'm on Instagram at RuRx as well as Death of Me. So slide me a DM at any time. I'll respond.
And it's Ru, ROUX, RX?
Yeah.
And the RX is like pharmacy RX, like this is medicine for your soul type art?
Yeah, that's a play on pharmaceutical.
Ah, love that. All right. Well done, lady. Congratulations to you. And happy International Women's Day to you as well.
Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you. Shondell Campbell, creator of Ru Art House. Up next, Boldly Berger. Stay with us for that.